FitzGerald here again with Deluxe Lifestyle Strategies. Thank you for joining me on my journey, my challenge to spread some education on how to make, save, and protect your money. So the last episode, I went into retirement planning, and if you were on track for that. So if you missed that, check it out on the Deluxe Lifestyle Strategies channel here on YouTube. Today is all about budgeting. More specifically, how to get started and why it's so vitally important to your financial success. So first question, are you keeping a budget at least once a month, if not bi-weekly basis? Less than 40% of Americans today actually keep a budget, which means a lot of us are not, right? And we wonder why we are having financial struggles. So about 8 to 9 years ago, we were not budgeting in my household. I had never been taught how to do one, hadn't seen my parents do one. In fact, my parents fought incessantly about money, and that's how I kind of actually learned how to deal with money, right? But 9 years ago, my finances started to slip down a very dark slope, and we were actually making decent money, I think, yet we were having issues paying the bills. We were like, what is going on? I don't get this. So, of course, the universe put me in contact with a great woman, Danny Johnson. I've actually put a link down here below if you want to attend one of her seminars. It's amazing. The seminar was actually promoted to teach marketing, which, of course, is where I am, right? That's why I went. And she did that great. Obviously, I loved her training on that specifically. But there were many other topics that she hit on preceding the marketing side of it, because she knows that you need to be well-rounded in order to succeed in any one given area. And the first session that she did was actually on money and budgeting. Long story short, I came home with a vengeance to remove all the excess in our lives and pay down our debt, which was crippling us. And you can check out more about Danny, like I said, on the link below. After that, I was actually introduced next to Dave Ramsey, who taught us the basics of a rudimentary way to budget. And I believe that it's especially good to learn it that way, because if you've never known how to budget before, you can't just be thrown into a high-tech way to do it. You have to kind of simple it down in the beginning. And then finally, I was introduced to actually saving and investing my money and planning for the future. So I love that path that I took, and I believe it is a solid, simple plan that can get anyone from literally in the gutter all the way to financial independence, so long as you stick with it, of course. So if you answered my first question that I asked with a no, do you have a budget? Do you run a budget? I highly recommend that you get started today. I don't care where you are in your life, but you got to get started. And I'm going to give you the absolute basics on how to start on a good solid path right now. I'm actually working on developing a class that I can literally walk people through the whole entire process. But for right now, let's just get started, okay? Debt payoff is vital. It's the number one thing. If you have credit cards and loans other than your car and home, those are first. So how do you do that, right? Well, there's 3 things to start with. First is to get rid of your excess. And this is how I started. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. 2 is that I literally sold things out of my house. And 3, I did what's called a food budget, right? Which I'll explain these other 2 in another episode. So with the money that you will save or earn on these strategies, you'll actually be able to pay off a lot of debt, hopefully starting to clear up some of your credit cards or 2. And you'll be amazed as you get this plan rolling that you can literally pay off tens of thousands of dollars really quickly. I know, because I did it, okay? So let's talk about the excess thing real quick before I finish up today. How much food is in your house right now at this moment? Is there enough for 1 or 2 days, a week, 3 or 4 weeks, or more? Oh my goodness, right? We did the radical challenge. We decided not to buy any food except for some basic perishables and see how long it would take to literally eat everything out of the house. Now, I've talked with dozens of people who actually attended that first seminar that I went to, and the timelines that people had ran from 3 weeks to over 3 months. It took them to eat out their pantry, basically, right? That's insane, right? In my house, it took us 5 weeks to eat everything. Now, I know some of those meals in the last week or so, they get a little, let's say, creative, right? Because you're eating things that probably wouldn't normally go together. But imagine the money that we didn't spend on food that went to pay off one of our credit cards. We literally almost completely paid off a credit card during those 5 weeks. And I think the very next payment, we completely paid it off. That's huge, right? Getting out from underneath of debt is number one to getting onto a good financial standing and getting yourself on the path to financial independence. So that's all I have time for today. I know this is a big topic. Next time I'm going to talk about budgets. The next time I talk about budgets, I'm going to go further into detail on those other 2 steps that I mentioned already that we did immediately following that seminar with Danny Johnson. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on how much food you have in your house right now. How much money could you devote to your debt if you didn't have to go to the grocery store for the next couple of weeks, right? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching today. Definitely make sure you don't miss the next episode, so hit the subscribe button as well. Next time I'm going to actually go back and talk more about my story and where I came from and all the travels I did around the world and everything. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram on the links below. I hope I have inspired you with ideas or new thoughts today on how to improve your life. Now it's your turn. Go inspire someone, and I'll see you next time.